Hello, and welcome back to The Abstract. What happens when trends go too far, and someone desperate for social media attention commits the ultimate crime? The only thing we love more than movies is you. Spoilers ahead, take care. Kurt is a young man who has been posting content on the web for over 10 years, but rarely gets any views into the double digits. We learn about Kurt through segments of past live streams, where we can see him playing video games and showing off his home. He was also a babysitter a long time ago, and the kid he used to babysit is now a famous influencer called Bobby Basecamp. One day, he is desperate for views and decides that he will get fame in any way possible. Kurt is a spree driver. Spree is an app like Uber, and Kurt is a driver for the app. Kurt decides to start streaming his spree rides with a multicam setup. Frederick is the first passenger, and we learn that he will be given a speech in front of over 3,000 people. This excites Kurt as he loves the idea of being in front of the eyes of thousands of people. Kurt explains that he is live streaming. We also find out his only viewer is Bobby Basecamp. Kurt becomes reckless and drives past stop signs and speeds. Frederick then drinks some of the water in the car and slowly faints. We now learn that Kurt poisoned the water and is planning to kill as many people as possible. He calls this joyride livestream The Lesson. He disposes of the body, and the next victim comes and goes quickly. He uses her phone to give himself a 5-star rating and a nice tip. Kurt starts playing some of his music, and he picks up his next passenger. This also happens to be a spree social ride, meaning multiple passengers share one ride. When approaching the next passenger, Jessie, she declines due to the terrible and loud music. Kurt turns down the music and offers her a discount on the ride, so she accepts. The first passenger tries to flirt with Jessie, and she rejects. She is later recognized for being a semi-famous comedian and influencer. Kurt quickly gets excited, and she starts a live stream to expose the first passenger for his creepy behavior. Kurt tried to get some attention from this, and plugs his socials in her stream. She then leaves, but not before taking water. However, she is saved when the first passenger makes a crude remark, and she decides to splash him with the water and toss the bottle. The passenger starts to get sick from the water, and slowly gets worse and worse. Kurt takes him to a remote location so he can vomit, but then runs him down with his car. At night, Kurt finds out Jessie has a big show going on. Bobby mocks Kurt in his comments, and then tells Kurt he will promote his stream if he does something really crazy. He picks up some people and promises to take them to a cool spot, then take a joyride from the sunroof. But Kurt closes it on them, and 2 guard dogs storm them, while Kurt uses a power tool to kill the passenger inside. At a car wash, he calls Bobby to ask if he saw his kills and to promote the stream. Bobby says he won't promote the stream because he got bored and stopped watching before it happened, and says, "If there are no witnesses, can you even say it happened?" Kurt watches Jessie go live before her show and gets jealous of her viewership. He then pulls up to a house and says he's going to make things fair. We see a split screen, Kurt knocking on a door and Jessie live, hearing a knock at her door. To our surprise, Kurt is at Bobby's house, while a man named Miles is picking up Jessie for her show. Kurt is mad that Bobby didn't go through with his promise and asks Bobby to do it. Bobby refuses to promote it, and Kurt refuses to leave, so Bobby switches on his live stream and mocks Kurt. So Kurt pulls out a knife and stabs Bobby, as he says he now knows the final steps of the lesson. Bobby reaches for a gun, and Kurt attacks him, finishing him off and taking his gun in the process. People hop over to Kurt's stream, and Kurt takes a shower to clean himself off, while we see Miles try to and fail at flirting with Jessie on the way to the comedy club. Kurt then gets a request from his dad, who's a DJ, to drive him to a famous client. Kurt goes and then asks the famous woman if she can tag him in a post. She declines at first, and Kurt is annoyed. But then she hops in his car and offers him the tag if he takes her to a place to grab some food. So he drives her to a taco truck and takes some promo photos of her, and she ends up drinking Kurt's poisoned water while waiting. When Kurt returns, she's already gone, and then some cops notice, and when questioned, he says the girl is drunk, and then they want him to take a test because they think he might be drunk based on how he's acting. While he's doing the test, the girl wakes up scared from what happened. She pulls a gun out and ends up shooting the officer, and then runs away. Kurt uses this opportunity to make a run for it and head to Jesse's show. While on the road, the news of his killings is spreading, and Kurt takes a shortcut through a homeless shelter before crashing. We cut to Jessie in her performance, and she's talking about the event that happened today, and makes fun of Kurt promoting himself and begging for a tag for a little bit of attention. When we see Kurt in the audience, alive but hurt, he takes aim with his gun, and then Jessie says that she doesn't blame Kurt for how he acted, and that she was once like him. Kurt's rage settles, and he listens closely as she gives a speech that social media drives us crazy, and that she will be quitting social media for an extended period of time. Then, Spree is shut down due to Kurt's actions, and the news spreading. So Kurt catches a ride with an app called GoGo, and when talking to the driver, mentions that he is not the crazy driver killing people from Spree. Kurt laughs. Jessie gets drunk, so she grabs a ride, and it ends up that Kurt is her driver. Kurt then suggests that they become a couple, and says some sexually charged things to her, and she realizes that Kurt is the spree killer when she says that he's going in the wrong direction to her home, and he says they aren't going to her home, but to his home. She realizes what's happening and strangles him with her phone charger, but he fights back. He knocks her out and puts her body outside to run her over, but then drops his phone, and he remembers that if no one sees it, then it's like it never happened. So he grabs the phone only to see Jessie is gone, and he gets out of the car to find her. She sneaks into the car and tries to drive him over, crashing into his house, where his father comes home. He finds Kurt's mom dead on the floor, as Kurt killed her before starting his spree. Then he shoots his father. He tries to shoot Jessie, but is out of ammo, and so Jessie takes this moment to drive him into a wall, pinning him there, and then using his phone to bash his face in. Then, looking at the phone, the chat is telling her to take a selfie. So she does, and posts it to her social media. And now, later, Jessie becomes super famous from it, and Kurt finally has his fame, as people talk about him, with article after article. Thank you for watching Movie Abstract. We hope we've helped you in experiencing this if you could not before. If you've made it this far, please help us and subscribe, leave a like, and hit that bell icon. We really need it. See you in another video, and take care.